Folks, coming up next is a tenant of Colorado's Democratic community. He's been there for so many different causes, both that affect his own community and outside. He'll be speaking today about the Green New Deal and representing Colorado Rising. Everyone give it up for Joe Salazar.
What's up, my people? How's it going? It's a pleasure being here with you. So they asked me to come and speak about the Green New Deal, but really can't talk about it unless we bring it back home, right? Because, you know, I don't know if you know this, but since Polis has been governor, there have been 2,300 permits granted to the oil and gas industry. Over 2,100 in 2019 alone, and 179 just this past January. And this is a guy who ran on a platform of being an environmental warrior, of being a progressive. And we all knew that it was bullshit, right? Yeah. We all knew that the moment that he got in, that he was going to compromise us, that he was going to compromise the state, he was going to compromise our environment, so that way the oil and gas industry could continue making a bunch of money. And how do I know this? Because as the executive director of Colorado Rising, as the chief litigator for Colorado Rising, and this is a shock to all the establishment, as the Democrat of the Year for the Colorado Democratic Party, I've been suing the hell out of the oil and gas industry and what they're doing to our communities. And just as the first speaker said, is that progressive, we don't leave anybody behind. I've been representing Republicans and unaffiliated voters and Democrats in a not so progressive bastion of Broomfield, Colorado, as well as in Commerce City, and fighting for people in Longmont, and now they are starting to encroach in my area in Thornton, Colorado. And we're fighting against them despite the fact that they're losing money hand over fist. Despite the fact that extraction oil and gas has gone from about $25 a share in November of 2018 to now trading at 95 cents a share as of Friday closing. But yet there are still people out there who think that the incremental lifestyle is how we're supposed to do things. Do you know what an incrementalist is? It's just someone who kills you slower. That's what happens when we elect those types of people to office. Is they're just looking to kill us slower because they don't want to get out of their own comfort zone. But not Bernie Sanders, huh? No! Not Bernie Sanders, huh? No! No! That's why this Green New Deal is super important to us. That way we can start transitioning over these oil and gas workers into other jobs. Jobs that actually benefit Mother Earth. Jobs that actually benefit our health, benefit our communities. That's what we're looking for in the Green New Deal. We're looking to make sure that these oil and gas companies and that these damn billionaires actually start paying their own taxes. And don't tell me that they don't pay their taxes. As we know from the Denver Post report that just recently we learned that the oil and gas industry here in the state of Colorado has failed to properly file, or has failed to file at all, over 51,000 severance tax reports. Over 51,000. Now, you know what? Maybe one time, okay, that's a one-off. Maybe two times, okay, well maybe you're making a mistake. 51,000 times? I think that's probably habitual. What do you think? So we don't know if they're actually paying the severance taxes here in the state of Colorado. We don't know what they're actually doing with our resources. We know that they're making money hand over fist, and they're taking it from us. And when we say leave it in the ground, they resist us. And when we have an agency like the Colorado Oil and Gas Conservation Commission that's supposed to hold their feet to the fire, they close their eyes. Of course they close their eyes. I just filed paperwork with them, filing a complaint against all those dirty bastards that didn't file those 51,000 complaints. And you know what the COGCC came back and told me? I said, you have to go back to the first day that they didn't file the reports, because the statute tells you you have to go back to the first day. And they came back and said, oh, there's a 1-year statute of limitations. We can only go back 1 year. And I said, oh, snap, someone doesn't know how to read a statute. Because one part of the statute says there's a 1-year statute of limitations for certain things, and the other part of the statute says that you could go way back because it's a continuing violation. But imagine that the COGCC doesn't want to do that. Doesn't want to bring in those penalties that would help go into our general fund to help education, to help higher education, to help our marginalized communities, because they're afraid of hurting the oil and gas operators' feelings. We need something bold in this country. We need the Green New Deal. We need to evolve into our better selves. You have heard me say that time and time again, that the time is right now. It's not tomorrow. It's not another year from now. It's not 2 years from now. It's not 5. It is right now. And you were born for this moment, to rise up and to fight back, and to stand with Bernie Sanders, to stand for the Green New Deal, and to stand for each other. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And as I always say, I love you. Thank you.